the channel for games, guides, and glitches. Sevenfold here for a glitch video. I didn't focus on the online too much, so I'm only showing 2 glitches for the online since the servers were going off. I didn't really want to focus on the online too much. This entire video was mainly focused on single player glitches, so that way when the servers do go off and you want to play the game, you can. But in exfiltration on the online game, you actually could get out of the map. I wanted to include this one that I found because there is something interesting about it. With the single player you don't have this option, and with the multiplayer you did, which was kind of cool. But basically you wanted to get here and then run across. You would have enough time that it would let you outside like so. There wasn't much to view because the online, they didn't load up much of the maps, but you could walk around a little bit. It was kind of cool. There were sections where the timer would show up as well, and you could fall out of the map like so you could get a whole view of it. And this is something you could do on the online mode that you couldn't. As you can see, I deployed my parachute. So this was Thunder Rain. This is the helicopter mission. This glitch is pretty well known. I did find it myself, but I did find out other people had found it way before me, so I still wanted to include it just because of how unique it is. During this mission, if you were fast enough, you could get to a body of water, and then you could drop the helicopter into the water, and because the mission hadn't completely started yet, you would not fail the mission by destroying the helicopter. And instead, your result would be getting kicked out of the plane. Incoming! And then you are free to explore the whole entire map. I have included running around the map for a little bit, just so that you get to see everything. You couldn't complete the mission, unfortunately, because you had to destroy vehicles and you had no explosives of any type. But it's still a pretty cool glitch. This level actually could have been used as a playable level, not just a helicopter. It's really solid. But those are the guys on the mortar.
Gunslinger 5-7, Warrior 2-0. Need immediate attack on enemy mortar position.
So yeah, enjoy me running around this map, and I'll see you on the first level for one glitch in Semper Fidelis.
This is 2-1. We need fire support ASAP. Target down. Contact! 360 degrees! Request fly support!
This is the glitch in Semper Fidelis, the only one I could find. If you timed it just right, you could push Y and watch what happens. I have slowed the footage down a little bit so you can see, but as you can see there, the gun is basically non-existent. Even when he yanks it and you kick him out, you'll watch the gun missing tons of image parts, which I thought was funny. So now we're on Operation Swordbreaker. This is the first actual mission, and as soon as they kick open that door to continue down the running section, you can actually run back to the main area, and one of these soldiers is actually gotten a little bit lightweight. And if you have a look inside his skull, you can see they modeled some eyeballs, which is kind of cool, separately to the body. So this is the section when you've got to secure the parking lot and you got to take out the RPGs. Well, not necessarily a glitch. I still find it pretty damn funny, so I wanted to include it. So if you go to this wall here, as you can see the guys running across, you'll have a few guys here that climb up. I unfortunately killed him too early, but once they climb up like so, you kill them, and when they jump over they flop, because they have to land on the other side and continue their animation even though they're dead. It's pretty damn funny, and I spent a good couple of minutes doing it just for lols. So this is the section, and you can do this glitch during the sniper section as well, but this is during the extraction section because I wanted to show you some stuff. So you climb up on this, and then you climb up on this rooftop here, and then you get to the edge here and you can walk across, run and jump, and you can land onto the ground here and then follow this. There are two ways to do this part. You can either jump on this, and if you miss you can jump on the dump, the bin basically, and then you can get over that way. But basically the purpose of this was I wanted to show you guys a few things while this mission was happening. So he said, Doc Holliday says he's taking our man to the med bay, but who's that over there? So let's wait till they stop firing and we'll watch him carry the body, and then we've got questions. My main question is, who the hell is he carrying? Our guy's there. And as you can see, our guys keep falling because there's no roof. Here we go, ready? So who the hell is he picking up? Because that's our guy there. I mean, I don't mind protecting a fellow soldier, but if you're gonna lie about who you're healing... So if we head this way... This takes us back to the original area. So if you want to explore that, feel free. Some of the cars are hollow and some are solid. Trying my best to run as fast as possible for you guys to see this next little bit. And thankfully I make it in time, because one of the guys that, is during the shootout. Obviously you have to kill because he didn't die. And they had plenty of time to kill him. But we want to go under here. You can't walk, you have to crawl. This is the previous area that, if you remember, we came out of. And this is the guy I was talking about. We can shoot him, and he can shoot us, so that's perfect because it activates the next point.
This bit 1-3, this is Doc Holiday. Many thanks.
We just have to climb up here, and we can watch these two. And now we can see who Doc Holiday has. And also, he just disappeared on us. He didn't even heal our man. He just left him where he was. So if you go over here, you can deload the walls here, and you can actually check out where the soldiers go and where they run to. So right here, kill this guy because he's annoying me. And as you can see, when they get to their destination, they just are removed from the game. Can't shoot them unless you shoot them before. You can run into the area as well, and it will reload in, but you'll be trapped. So this is the section after that, when you're on the wooden platform. We just have to wait for this one soldier to cross. And then he... Wait, what are you doing? Oh no! Is this where I hold up a sign that says, ouch? And then we can fall down here too. And you can go in here to the deloaded area. And you can crawl under the building and explore under the building a little bit. There's not much to do, so I didn't include much of it. But you got this whole section you can explore just for fun if you wanted to. So this is the section after we do the shootout, and there's the two soldiers.
Just stay focused.
And as you'll notice, there's guys running away, and they look like they're carrying guns. Very important I mention that. You can't shoot them. So we'll jump over this, and jump over this wall, and we can go back here.
We got wounded AKIA in here. I got it. This is Action 1-3. I need hands back ASAP. How copy? 1-3, I confirm the oblige. Hang tight. Misfit out.
And look at this. They got finger guns.
I found something. This is totally not good.
They're also placed in the same spot.
Boys, we are attracting a lot of fucking attention.
So we're outside the map currently, so we can actually explore a little bit. There's some cool things that we can see in the previous area, because loading into this area has actually deloaded the floor. So there's a lot you can see that you normally wouldn't be able to. For example, 3 of the guys ran here. As you can see, there's 3. And if we throw a grenade, they respond to the grenade, and they meld almost perfectly into one. It's like, where did the other 2 go? You can still see a few bits and pieces of the other guys, but they melded pretty well. You can't knife them to kill them either. So no, it's on the right side. I always forget which side it is to climb up. This side here it is. Right here. The cars, some of them are solid again, and some of them are hollow. You can't break the windows. if we run off this way, as you can see, the floor is solid, even though you can't see it. We can go around to the back area. This is where we would have the shootout. So rather than have the shootout, we get to have, well, we get to explore outside. As you can see, the buildings are solid, even though we're outside. But we can climb up onto the road here, or pavement, whichever you want to refer to it as. And as you can see, there's 2 more finger gun guys here. There's a weird bug sometimes when you fire, you can't run. It was really annoying. But here we go, we can go outside to the starting areas. I want to show you some cool things. Firstly, our guy is still alive. And right here, this blue bar is the thing that causes the timer to show up when you're out of bounds. I will show you. See? That is the out of bounds marker. Kind of cool to actually see it. We've got our guy right here. And he is on our team because it's classed as friendly fire when you knife him. He was the guy that got shot at the start of the game. If you remember the cutscene, we had to drag him away. Doc Holliday never took him away. Some of the stuff that is here is solid. As you get further into the level, more is loaded in, but because a lot has been deloaded, you can walk through a lot of it. We're still bound by the boundary boxes, which you can see, but we can walk around them, so it's no big deal. Something really cool, if you remember the car that goes past, I will summon the car and we can watch the car. You always saw it go around the corner and you couldn't see where it goes. Also, check it out, it's actually a gun, not a car. And ready? They go around the corner and bam, they're gone. But yeah, it's actually a gun, not a car. That's why there's a gun underneath it. That's what's moving. So even if you were to get up close to it, you wouldn't be able to get in it. So we can head back to the starting area again, but this time we're heading back to the starting area after getting to basically the end of the game, so it loads in a little bit different, as you can see. I thought this was quite interesting. It looks like it has, the lamp pole has vines and dirt and stuff, but the tree doesn't. The tree should have that square over the lamp pole so that it looks like it's planted. I mean, not that we would have seen it playing the game, but still, for aesthetic. Right here is interesting. There's the boundary box, even though you can't get past this boundary here. They did the wire really well, but they still put a boundary box there, which was kind of cool. these are, you can knock over the cones, which is kind of cool. We're going into the second area. This is when you ran down into the building. Once it loads up, just gotta find the right spot. Alright, before I show you, remember this scene here? That dog right there. Some might not have noticed it. But there he is, that dog there. We get to go see him. We can't pet him, unfortunately, but hey, little doggy. We can also go through here. Once this loads in, we can fall down. And interesting enough, this is all the things that fall down with us, including some cement. See, cement. Cute little piggy. Now I'm going to play another scene from the start. Do you remember this guy drinking his coffee? Something you wouldn't know or get to see unless we went and viewed the map the way we are. But he has a gun under his feet. I thought that was kind of interesting and unique. I wasn't sure if that was his placement model, like they used a gun to place him there. That would be interesting, but it's still cool. Let's go back to the start. There is a spot, it's hard to tell because we can't see. But we can get up there. I think it's on the left side though, not the right side. Yep, here we go. So when this all loads in, we can get a clearer picture of the car. Figured I'll show you that before I show you the next things that we're going to be showing you. Here's the car here. And see, there's the gun. That's actually what's moving. Must be easy to place a gun and then just remove the thing. So this is the section when you disable the bomb. What you may not know is before you actually go up there, if you go up here and then into the tunnel again that you climb through to find the red wire, there was a rat that went past. That's the rat there. Now what's even cooler is it must have been two models that you saw when they were playing the animation, because there's another one here, and this one, if you change to your knife, you actually blend in with the surroundings, which is kind of cool. So when you actually do, this is probably the best glitch that I found in the entire game. When you get to the end of this mission and you grab the gun here, we want to go back to the one glitch that we did originally at the start of this area to get out of the map. Jump over this wall. And this is probably the best one that I think, in my opinion, that I found. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy doing this one, especially because there is no other way to do it in this game. But you want to follow the way I'm going. We want to go down this way here. And then we want to wait a little bit.
Look at all of them! Where's Kazamak? Misfit 1-3, this is
I'm not sure how close you can get or if you need to wait, but I like to wait.
Be advised, you've got a large number of individuals moving toward your position.
figure this spot's good enough.
Enemy vehicle coming from the north! Now, still good to go!
Misfit 1-3, this is Misfit Actual. We're sealing off all southbound traffic, but enemy fighters have been reported closing on your location. Over.
The objective should finish. There we go. And now we got to get on the 50 cal. This is when I head to the glitch, but you could try it before the 50 cal if you want. So we want to get up here, and we want to go down this way here. And then we'll go over to the left here, and you'll see in the distance a helicopter. Fudge, yeah. As we get closer, it does a nice little descent for us. You have to go this way because if you go a different way, you might fall into a gap that you can't see, unfortunately. I did go the other way when I first found this, and I did have to restart. But once we get close enough, we have an interval helicopter. Yeah! How is that for awesome? I was so happy I found this. You can push A and get in the passenger seat. Not much point, but I'm just saying you can. Literally fly around the map. You can land on the roofs, they're solid. I wouldn't say all of them are solid because I haven't tested all of them, but most are solid. There's even a billboard you can land on. You can see it on the right there. I landed there. The billboard's not solid, it's hollow, but still cool. There's a lot of the map you can fly around, so that'll be fun. And it's a very easy glitch to perform, so I was really happy about that. And there's no real complications with it. We can land the helicopter and get out at any time. I will mention and show just a few seconds of it. The gun is fireable. This is the best thing I found outside the map, which was kind of cool. I hadn't actually found this until I had the helicopter, but it's a model that is still active for some reason. Maybe its placement is for this part of the mission when the ground gets destroyed. Onto the next mission, Uprising. I was actually really proud of this. It took me a long while to figure it out, and I actually improved the glitch, so it's even better for you. When I originally did it, you were stuck in the forced crawl, but I found a way to do it so you weren't stuck in a forced crawl. So this area here is what we want, but we don't want to do anything just yet. This guard, he has a nice blind spot for us, if we're quick enough. But before we actually go and deal with that, we want to back away to the car until we can stand up. Once we can stand up, go back into crouching and keep an eye on the guy. If he's looking away, like so, we should be able to make it. You have to crawl, you can't, now that we can walk and run, we still cannot do that. But as you can see, there's a car on our right as well, so we're going to beat the car. Once you get to this spot here, you should be good to run. If you do the glitch without activating the stand, you won't be able to run. You'll have to crawl the entire time, and It's not fun. The car is actually empty that we saw moving, so I thought that was kind of cool. And you can go inside it. It fights you on it, but it is more or less hollow to a degree, so there's no soldiers in it. And if we head this way, I would have fast forwarded, but I thought this area is pretty hard to navigate. I'll keep it a solid run for you guys, so you can see where to go. You'll see up there, that's the crashed building.
Come out in the open! Hiding will be seen as an act of aggression.
If you kill anyone in the map themselves, you will still fail. I will mention that early while we're running. And there is a point where I deliberately, because it's still a glitch, that it's not intended to happen, but I deliberately shoot one of them to stick me into an infinite death loop, just to show you of something they didn't think of. It's just not the good kind of glitch, it's the bad kind. So we want to get to this spot here. This is the highway. And when we get to this bridge here, you'll see there's some soldiers. The soldiers we can have a bit of fun with. They don't notice us or care. And as you can see, they run down the stairs, very funny, disappear, and then respawn. We're still out of the map, that's why we can do this. But we can kill the soldier. And now we have a gun. Like I said, you can't kill anybody in the map, but we can kill these guys to our heart's content. No timing needed. They all carry the same gun. I didn't find any with a different gun. You just don't want to shoot anyone inside the map. Car's solid. Can't break the windows. Oh wait, can break the window. Sometimes I cannot remember if you can or cannot break the window because it was very touch and go with some cars and some. But anyway, we want to head off to the next location. And that's this location here. Now you want to be careful. I do skip ahead, but when you are killing, unloading them in, you want to be careful because some of them will get close to you and try and knife you. But first we're going to do the first spawn, which is going to make a helicopter appear. Well, it's not really a helicopter, it's a plane, but still. See, there's the plane. You can kill these guys. Run down to it. It actually takes off pretty far. Sadly, it doesn't go to the ground or anything, so I couldn't test if you could get in it or anything because it wasn't at our level. So yeah, new location shows up, like move location, even though we haven't got it loaded in. I thought that was kind of cool. It registered that we hit the marker just in the deloaded parts. But right here, This is where the helicopter gets to, as you can see. Like I said, it got pretty far. You can shoot it. It is solid. Now back in the starting area, you can drop your knife thanks to this glitch. So I try and drop it so that you guys can actually see it. I'd never seen the knife model show up as pickup knife, which I thought was kind of cool, and we actually get to see the knife design right here, which is kind of cool. This is the knife we use to kill people with, and you wouldn't normally get to see it, but they designed it as an actual weapon in this during that section where you're supposed to just have the knife. So right here, if you shoot this guy as you open the door, you will fail the mission, but it saves. And I sped it up. But upon loading in, you will die again. Here lies sudden fall. Rest in peace, glitching. But that's an instant death loop, and you'd basically have to restart your game. That's why I said don't shoot anyone inside. So this is after the bus. So there's the destroyed bus there. You can get out here. I found this one, but again, this is another known one. So it's not mine or anything, but I still wanted to show it. You don't have to go this way, I just like to. You can literally just walk out the map. But I like to climb on this. It feels more better. And then you're free to explore. There's a ton to explore, like the next area you can see over here. And this is how you can get back in the map with this one. It's not often you can do that, but this one you can, which is kind of cool. So for this door, we have another glitch. So when you open this door, this is probably one of the easy ones to perform. It relies on the save system though, because that way you can do it as much as you want. You gotta angle yourself so you don't fall off the stairs. Once your feet are like that, crouch, well actually crawl, and that'll save it. You'll save still on the stairs, and the map has been deloaded like so. So you're free to explore till your heart's content. As you can see, we can just walk out. Plenty of things. So this is the section towards the end of the game. I wanted to show him opening it because he said go through it. It's pretty funny. That's not the glitch though. Just something funny.
Saying there's riots all over the fucking city. Get this, a coup in Iran.
So I did try this glitch after shooting the Humvee, and because it wants you to get into the plane, you fail. But so you can only really do this one before you get in the Humvee, but you want to basically run straight here. You'll just make it, like just make it. As you can see, we just made it. But right here you can jump on this and then jump again. That'll get you outside the map, and then you're free to explore. I did find something cool, so I am going to show you. Unfortunately we cannot get in it, but if you remember earlier I was talking about the plane and how it wasn't on the ground. Well, now it's on the ground. Unfortunately the back isn't even open, so we couldn't even climb in the back and see what happens. As you can see, it's completely solid. We can climb on top of it. The back isn't open. as you see, we can climb on the top, and look, we can even climb into the propellers. Doesn't kill you. Operation Guillotine. So if you knife this guy here, he's next to the guy that you're supposed to climb up. You can't climb up him, as you can see, but if you get on this, you angle yourself, you can run and jump off the car and land on him, and then jump onto the other guy. You don't necessarily need to jump onto the other guy, you can actually jump over the wall from him, which I will show. And eventually land on his head properly. It is tricky to do. I wouldn't say it's necessarily an easy trick to do. You can't climb over here, as you'll see. I fall down. That's just to show you. You actually do have to angle towards the lower part of the wall. So right here on the lower part, you can see, and then you can jump over. You could interact with him then through the wall if you wanted. It comes up with the E prompt while he's there, but that's just a fun little skip. This is an actual out of the map glitch. This is just when you're supposed to get in the car. Rather than get in the car, there would be these two guys here. You want to jump on this guy, then land on this guy. From here, land on this, climb up here, climb up it once more, and then we can fall down. Now we're officially out of the map. This map is huge, so I am going to cut bits and pieces because I don't want to make you guys spend hours watching me walk around. Like, this map is huge. So I hope if you decide to go out the map and you use this, that you will have some fun exploring. And if you find anything cool, let me know, because I did explore a lot, but I didn't find much. The few things I did find, I am going to show you. So when we get around this spot here, we're actually back at the start of the map. From here, we can actually go up the hill that we ran down, and just like in the other mission that I showed you, the soldier has remained. It's interesting that soldiers didn't get deleted from sections. Let's see him right there. Because the wall is not there, we don't have the B prompt. But as you can see, he's one of ours. Friendly fire won't be tolerated. So over here, this is just to the left of the Humvees. These aren't solid, so you have to make sure that you walk around it. The building is solid, ironically, but we wanted to go this way to show you just down here. You can shoot out the gas tanks. And over here are some cars, none of them you can get in. And if you continue on, there's the highway. I went to the edge of the map so I could fall down it, just so I could show you. That's how far away I am, and how big this map is, and that's just off this glitch. Now we're in this mission here, where the same mission, but we're going to clear the riverbank. But rather than clear the riverbank, you know what we're here for. So you want to climb this. This one's a little bit tricky, but this one's safe, because even if you fall in here like so, you'd think, oh no, I can't get out. But if you run and jump, you'll jump over, no problem. So it's actually one of my most liked ones, because you can't get stuck. There's another one that I have that's similar like this, but if you fall down, you will get stuck and have to reload. This one, thankfully, you can get out. So you want to jump onto this wall here and land on the wall. You don't want to fall off the wall. And then we follow the wall. If your first time doing this, I wouldn't recommend running like I am. I'm confident that I won't fall off. then run and jump. You don't need to jump, I don't think. You should make it even if you don't jump. But we're now out of the map, as you can see. And this is in the second area. This is after you get out of the Humvee and you get the tanker blown up and you go through the doors. So this is when you get the RPG, the javelin. You can actually do it earlier. You can do it as soon as you pretty much come out the door. But this is the area, which is where you come out of the door. I wanted to do it while the javelin, I had the javelin just to show you some stuff, but you want to climb on this wall here. And you got to angle yourself just right to the left a little bit and run and jump. If you do it wrong, hopefully you'll land on this so you can go back. If you fall down, you'll have to load. You want to run and jump, and when you do it right, he'll jump over like so. And look, we're outside the map again, so it's pretty big. Again, I'm going to cut because I don't want you guys to have to see me run around and everything. So now we're in the bathroom. This is after you knife the guy. This is the only glitch that I could find in this area. So you can crawl under the bathroom wall, so you can get into the second toilet. Now we're under Comrades. If you remember this guy here we ran into with our car, there's a reason I'm crawling all over him. I want to point out this mask here. Remember this mask for later. Also of note is his gun vanishes if you get too close, which is quite interesting. You also can't pick it up. So to get out of this map, it's pretty simple. You get on this van and then you run and jump and you're outside the map. The cool thing you can do with this outside the map is that it's I wouldn't say it's expensive, but it's pretty cool. You can pretend you're like you're in a zombie apocalypse or something, and that everyone's vanished. Buildings, a lot of them you can enter. I actually do like that. It's kind of fun because a lot of the windows are smashable and you can climb in, and there's shops and stuff. There's even deloaded buildings that have entrance points, like so, because we will be in those areas later, and you can run into it. This one in particular you can run into because they've loaded the park already, the car park, so we can explore the car park. And if you go to the point of activation for the next part, which I thought was kind of cool, which is over here, and you go into this section here, it will load in the next area, and the next area is a different color. It is pink over blue, which is kind of cool. And you even see our guys run off to catch up, because they're getting to the point that we're supposed to be at. So with this wall here, you might remember this section here where the pink wall is. There's some guys that have masks on and bombs, and this is the area before you open the door. See, they're not placed in or anything. It's quite important I show you this for a later glitch. You can't go under it, unfortunately. So another thing you can do, and I've skipped ahead to getting back outside the map here, it does require you every time you do this to watch that car cutscene, so it is a little bit annoying, unfortunately, but there is not much you can do about that if you want to have some fun. You have to put up with the boring bits for a little bit. It took me a long time to figure this bit out because I had to navigate the parts that do fall through, but once you get to here, you gotta crouch about here, and you can see through the map, which is perfect, so we can see where the walls are. And we want to follow this wall here. Only the wall, the other side of it, is actually solid. That's why we're following the wall. Once we get to here, we can climb up. And from here, we're actually onto the top part of the car park now. So from here we can run and jump, and I got lucky with where I landed. And we're now outside, technically. But the sad thing is, even though we're outside of this section, there is no floor. As you can see here. And you get to see the outside of the map, which is pretty huge. So this is when you actually do go inside. We got a nice little glitch for this. You can jump over and not even bother opening the gate. Another thing you can do is if you do cut the wire, you can run down here, or walk in my case because I think the running's not working again. Slight bug that I had to keep dealing with. It required you to unplug the controller. Disturb these guys. Throw a grenade to kill a couple. Don't want them all to die, just a couple. Make your way back to the starting area. Now I can actually run. Pick a spot. I'm going to fast forward it once I do pick my spot. But you want to be inside this area where the blue wire is. I had another bug. Just a graphic one that I hadn't seen before, and it didn't repeat, so I wasn't sure what happened, but it's been kept in. So right here I've fast forwarded. As you can see, my whole screen turned blue for some reason, and then it just went back to normal. I'm not entirely sure what caused that, but it was kind of cool to see. So now it's saved. This is what we wanted. So we load the last checkpoint, and when we load in, the garage door has been removed. We can't go into the area. See how it fights us and pushes us back. But we can see out of the area, which is kind of still cool. If it lets me over. The reason I pointed out that gas mask, you'll see right here. His gas mask. Can't zoom in any further than that, unfortunately. This is when you kick in the door. Instead of when you load it back, when you kick in that door, load the save, and then kick in the door. Put your mask on after running down here. It's not very useful, so you probably won't want to do it. But it's because I pretty much show you everything that you can do with it. But this door leads to the outside. You can't really go anywhere or do anything with it, just look around, but it's still kind of cool. You can also fall down and see the outside of the map. As you can see, we can't open a parachute, so this is when the you get up to the top floor. You can load it and go back down, and when you get to this room here, you'll see these guys are in a T-pose, and if you remember I showed you earlier, they weren't pre-prepared in the room, but when you do kick the door in, they're preloaded in to interact with the two guys. So when you reload it back in again, but this time from the other side, they are there and see-through. It's kind of cool. I couldn't tell if they had eyeballs or not. It was very hard to tell, but it does look like they have eyeballs, which is kind of cool. So you remember this guy here? We'll beat him up. And then when we tossed him over, well, we don't have to feel bad about that. From here, our T-poses. We can head downstairs, and let's go check up on him. We don't have to feel bad, we didn't kill him. He's still alive. He's immortal. You can throw a grenade. Nothing. Can knife him even from behind. Nothing. Super immortal. Lucky him. So in the bathroom here, and this happens with a lot of them, it's really creepy. If you zoom in on the dead guys, they have no eyes. It's really creepy. So this is the section after you have a shootout. The elevator has a cutscene activator. You can actually go around it if you want. I didn't go around it. I just did this instead because I thought it was funny. If you jump onto this, you could go around the activator if you wanted, but for more fun, I activated these two to run off. They've been like, okay, he's going ahead. So now there's no one here with me, it's just me. And I activate the cutscene. The guy's taken off. And look, he's magically back there to catch him. Damn, dude's a magician. And when I loaded in, the elevator was pink for a little bit, which was kind of cool, so I kept that in. So when you have to capture the nuke carrier, this is where it saved for me because I was messing around, unfortunately. But this is after you kill the cops, so they moved on to the second area. And you can do this as many times as you want. But you come to the boss here, you jump over the boss, and you have to move forward a little bit, past the boss, then run back. This will activate a scene, reactivate a scene in the game, and we can actually use that to push ourselves out of the map. I was able to push myself out in other areas, but none of them were really solid, and it was touch and go because we don't have a mask, so the poison gas can still kill us now. But basically, once we touch this, they will say please surrender now, and the chandelier will drop, which pushes us outside the map. And from there we can use it to push ourselves back in, past the gas. And with that, when we do it during this point where he's dead and the guy runs off, I wanted to see what would happen, and something very cool happens. I wasn't able to successfully do it once, but it still gave me a unique effect, which was cool. The glass will come back every time, so you do have to smash it every time. I might say that. Cops didn't shout out, so I didn't hit the spot just yet. There we go. And it pushed me back out, which was fine because I noticed something. The follow marker is under the map. He's fallen through. So it's deloaded where he was standing, which is really cool. So I decided, okay, let's continue on and see what happens, see what fun we could have. The bankers do spawn back, and if you go close enough to reactivate it, and the two guys do run back, but if one of them's not alive, he actually doesn't run back. The guy that's dead stays dead, which is quite interesting. So with him under the map, I'm getting to the save point. And now that it's saved it, I'm going to load it. And as you can see, he loaded still under the map. we get to do something that we're not supposed to be able to do. You can see this guy can't be killed. No. Neither can these guys. But look who we have here. We caught him. We got the nuke. Game's over. We don't have to play anymore. We succeeded where they failed. So now we're on to Thunderon. This is back when you start the game, you can turn around and you'll remember these cars and tanks and stuff, and I wanted to show you this in the tank, but they're hollow. Now there's a location we can go to that is, as you can see, you can't even shoot it, but there's a location that we can go to that's going to be hard to see as a tank, but I wanted to show you what's there for when I do go out of the map, because I come back to this place to show you it even better. It actually is a little tough to find as well, but it's kind of cool. So right here, placement marker. As you can see right there, the blue dots just in front of us with the numbers. That'll be important for later. So to get out of the map, once you get past the onto the highway, you can just do this, and you can get out as the tank as well. This is where you're supposed to get out of the tank, but rather than get out of the tank, we can go this way. As you can see, there's 2 loading zones, so that gives us plenty of time to get out of the map, thankfully, with the tank. I've then fast forwarded it, just because it actually takes a while to do this, but I wanted to show you something cool outside the map while I was in the tank, just so that way I had a reason to stay in the tank. But eventually we'll get to this area here. It happens all the time when you go on this map. If you go too far out the map, you will see a red sky. These guys are hollow. You cannot kill them with the tank. It was designed that way, so that way there's no friendly fire. This is when you still have to get out of your tank. Can't ram them or anything. At least that's what they think. They just go straight through. I gotta be very ginger with this one. This guy here is parked up against a car. They thought, oh, you can't kill him. Oh no, he's dead. So this is when you're gotta pull up the tank. If you pull up on the left, and it's hard to do, but if you pull it hard to the left, it'll raise it up. So when you get out of the tank actually appears where you are, so you're inside the tank. It's kind of cool. It tries to push you out, so you got to try and fight it a little bit, but you can see the things that we've been seeing during cutscenes and stuff. Something different. So the best time to do the outside the map, because you can do it pretty much straight away, but the best time to do it is when you have a gun, and when you can run. I had to disable the controller so it would let me run. I had the bug again. This is when you pick up the controller. Personally, this is the best time to do the glitch. In my opinion, you can do it earlier, but you can't fire your gun if you do it before you talk to the guy. If you do it after you talk to the guy, that's fine as well, but my personal favorite is to just do it after you've gained the switch. So we can run down here. This is the same exact place we took the tank, so this is why I didn't really show you much with the tank, because showing you once, you'll be able to see which way for both. I will show you while I'm on foot though, why you have to be on the right side over the left side. From this angle, it's the right side. Because if you go to the left, it won't. But if you go to the right, it will not come up with the timer during this part, not during the tank part. During the tank part, you always get the timer, but it's still easier near this car. But when you have the timer thing, this whole area you can walk in and it will let you. It doesn't care or anything. And then you're outside the map like so. Once we get past this little timer, and you're free to explore wherever you want. I only wanted to cut to certain things I found outside the map. So like I said, this is the tank area where we returned to begin with. This map is huge, so I just wanted to leave a lot of it for you guys to explore. But I wanted to point out the best things that I found while I was exploring. You can go back to previous areas while you're on foot. None of it's really that interesting, but this is the marker that we had, if you remember, that I pointed it out. There's a reason I pointed it out. If you remember this scene here, where he loads up the bullet, and it's one giant bullet. Well, look what we found over here in the desert. One giant bullet. The car, like I showed you with the tank, is hollow. On foot, we can actually jump in the cockpit a little bit, and you can see there's no drivers as well. But from this car, we can go to something else, which is really cool. Probably one of my nicer finds, in my opinion. It was a little bit hard to locate. As you can see, I'm trying to remember exactly where it is, and then I spot it. But right here. And I like to dub this guy, once I show you, Knifey the Friendly Knife. He's on our team. Now we're up to Fear No Evil. So this is where the tank gets hit by a rocket, not our tank, the other tank. If you go up here, you'll have enough time just to make it to this zone here, which is the safety zone. Don't go too far because you hit another one. You need to reverse, then turn around. We want to aim this way, and we'll have enough time to get out the map. The reason I'm showing this out of map glitch is because you can go back to the starting area, which I will show you. The buildings are solid. I like to point and show stuff like that. As well as the trees being solid, and since we're in a tank, we can actually shoot the trees. But here we are by going around at the start. There's still boundaries a little bit, so you got to be careful, but as you can see, that's where we drop down, so you're free more or less to explore this area. So another one we can do is when the tank gets hit, we got to go into the mall. You want to not go too fast, because you want to stop around here and inch towards the window. You can break it, but it'll save, and when it saves, we can load last checkpoint. You don't actually need to load last checkpoint. You can just turn around if you want. I prefer to load last checkpoint though, myself, just out of habit. And we can go back the way we came. And as you can see, this area is now deloaded as well, so you're free to explore around this area. Now we're on to night shift. Now you probably saw my glitch speed run of night shift, so this is going to be a little bit of a long one. But firstly I want to show you this. If you reload after starting a new game, these two guys that, if you're like me, you absolutely hate them, actually load in so we can kill them and not get into any trouble, because they're annoying guards that stopped me from getting outside the map. So we can get up to this guy, and you probably see me do this glitch in the speed run, but if not, this is how you do the glitch. You just have to aim your gun at his head and then at his jump towards his binoculars. I mainly aim on the arm because it seems to give me more chance to land on it. He is actually constantly moving the binoculars, so there is actually a peak point you actually want to jump. That's why it appears that I'm just randomly jumping. It does try and fight you, so that's why I move left and right to try and prevent that. But eventually, once you get the right spot to fall into place, you will land on the binoculars, and then you can climb over the fence. The hardest part is falling down, and I am going to show the jumping over and the falling down a couple of times just so people get the hang of it. Hopefully. It is still down to a little bit of luck as well, but you want to basically aim. You can crouch if it makes you feel safer. I try and aim for the wall and then fall down, backing up as well as when I'm falling, and as you can see, I made it. So this is another time when I'm doing the glitch. As you can see, nice and simple. And again, I go up to this spot here. This is another way you can try and fall down. I just wanted to show you that you can fall in a different spot, but I don't like it.
Roger that. We're closing fast. Out.
That's just to show you that you can fall at different spots.
That's cold. Why the fuck's he leaving the assault team? Something's not right. Okay. Take out the lights.
I personally prefer the spot that I picked, which is here. And what I tend to do is go in between the two lines on the building, and then I aim, and I'll actually use my gun to aim to show you. I aim for this line here, and that's pretty much my marker and how I've been setting it up for when I fall, and then I let it fall a little bit before I push myself off. And if everything goes well, I either land on this or I get knocked. So now we're outside the map, because while I was doing the speed run I couldn't really show you anything like this, but we can fire the gun from this spot here and not get into trouble. So we can take out the lights. So if you're having trouble with the achievement for missing the lights, this might be a good alternative as well. Although it would be very difficult to pull off.
1-4, LZ secured. Have eyes on. Over.
Roger that.
I wasn't sure how close I could get in, but I actually can go into the parking lot, which is kind of cool. So I wanted to watch them descend down the rope. As you can see, the plane actually clips through the building a little bit. If there was a way to get on top of the building, you might even be able to land on the plane. As you can see, they're solid, which was kind of cool. So this is when you climb down the rope.
Let's go.
If you wanted to do this for fun more than anything, it does make the sentry not appear, so it does have its benefits, but it's more for fun. You can actually jump on him before he gives you the prompt to climb over, and then you can climb over the fence like so. So if you get to this point here, you can race this guy and beat him, and then knife him. I have easier ways to do this. But I wanted to show you there's 2 ways to do it. Once we take out these guys, as you can see, he's still alive because we interrupted his running. And basically we can have some fun with him. The other way we can do that is through the glitch here that I discovered.
Stay in cover when you get down there.
So when you do the Marines and let them cross, you can then basically follow that wall, drop down onto this roof, and then follow this wall. You have to follow this wall to the end, because if you do not follow this wall to the end and you fall down at any point, you will be in the kill zone and you will die. Once we get to the end here, you need to run and jump. You can fall and jump, because I have had that happen. I literally had it happen during the speed run. But once you do, you go around the corner, and the fireworks, as I refer to them, will set off. These are kill zone shots. You probably know them from when you've gone out of the map, or even just out of the area a little bit, and then heard them and died. So I didn't show much during the speed run of the area, but as you can see, this whole entire thing is hollow. We've got areas over here we can explore, and you can go over this way. This is where the soldiers came from, and as you can see, the area has nothing solid, which is kind of cool. So we go down this way here. As you can see, this map is huge, so it's kind of cool. This building here on the left, not these buildings, but these buildings here that I'm in front of, they remain mostly throughout the game, but they don't really get removed. But you can break in, and we can steal some supplies. It's kind of cool because you never see these up close. So if you go around and find this building here, you can climb up, and then when it saves, you can do the RT stealth kill, which will give you your best improvisation skills. But this sets up for a couple of glitches as well. So by using that one glitch, we can do a couple of other glitches. So we'll kill these guys. I don't know where he came from, but we kill him anyway. And when we go downstairs, you'll remember the guys that shoot you when they're invincible. I need to run again, and my controller's doing the whole, you can't run because you fired your gun. There we go. So you run to here, this will activate the save point. Get behind them if you notice that he won't fire at you. So this door is solid, you can't go through it. Let's let them, as you can see, no damage to them. I'm not sure the point of putting them here, like, you couldn't go through the door anyway, as you can see. Unless we load last checkpoint. And when we come to, oh look at that. And now you're free to explore outside the map again. The door is hollow. If we can also go a different way. If you load last checkpoint and you go up the stairs, because we did the improv kill, this is why I said there's an easier way for this. You can have the guy here that we can have some fun with. So now this is the actual legit thing that we're doing. running through the area here that we're supposed to. And we can actually get out of the map at this point as well. But we have to disable something first. So there's an instant kill if you don't disable it. You want to crawl down here. And when you fall down just a little bit, you want to go back up. As you can see, there's no more firing except for these guys. And with no more firing, it means we're allowed to explore till our heart's content, and we won't die. And with that, we can go over here to this building. And now we're out of the map again, and you're free to explore. So enjoy. There is a lot out here. I will actually show you some. If we go out this way, we have the entire street loaded up, and this is actually the next area. Well, not technically in the next area, but it is areas we will be in next. It's technically later areas, but they're slightly deloaded. And I wanted to show you one thing in particular because it's kind of cool. You can blow up the gas station too, I might add. But this is the place where we were going to have that shootout. And this is inside the buildings that they go in. So this is the point after you get out of the tunnel.
Might as well send them a grid for an ambush.
This is what I promised I would show you in my speedrun video, which is a way to get a vehicle and a save point so you can just load up and drive around it till your heart's content.
Get ready. Jesus Christ.
So you want to go in the building, activate the point, then we want to go to this door. You can wait, I'm impatient. The door will reopen so we can go through it. And now we're outside the map. The reason we're trying to be fast is because his talking at the end of his conversation is when it saves. So we've got to try and do this very quickly. You want to come through this here. And on our left will be an open doorway where that light is. So we want to go into this doorway. As you can see, the door here closes. That's activated the next point, as you can see by the items dropping in. So we can go up this way. We can kill this guy here.
I'll send a team ASAP. Many thanks. Ran 3, the 1st Marine Division has just now captured the eastern border.
Which actually interrupts the cutscene, and he says nice shot, which I thought was funny. But right here, as I promised, there's the vehicle. So if we stand here, we can wait. Saved. And now what we can also do whenever we load the game and we want to have a bit of fun with the vehicle is we can enter it on top of driving around to random areas or whatever. If we drive over here, we push A, we can get in the Gatling gun and we can kill some of the guys that are alive still here. On to Rock in a Hard Place. Well, not a glitch per se. I always find it funny when games remove objects in front of, like, right before your eyes, as if we wouldn't notice and we're supposed to pretend we didn't come here in a car. As you can see right there. Another interesting one is when you kill the last guy, the spawn location of them is right here, which is kind of cool. I timed my grenade just right. And get them all. 2 more spawn afterwards, and when you kill these 2, I was able to capture what happens next. And I do slow-mo it, so that way you can see. But right here, as you can see, this body drops in right there. See it? I paused it and zoomed in for us so that you could see the placement, which I thought was kind of cool. So this one has a few out of map glitches. They're pretty much all the same to a degree, so I don't really show much. This area has a very expansive map, so again I just do the highlights. So basically once you activate that part, you run up here with these guys. And we can actually get a save point for outside the map if you want one. When we activate this point here, and it's the whole reason I did it this way. We will start talking.
Russian transport! Holy fucking shit! Oh, we can't go through them. No way, no how.
Enemy units down there setting up. Airdrop moves out straight through.
So what the hell's going on here?
They're here for the same reason we are, Sergeant.
We at war with Russia now, is that what's happening?
Fire the pod.
Yes.
The doctor says you can return fire and fire the pod. That's not war. Not technically. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm saying we need to get...
You want to run down here, and you'll see the tree to the left there. So we're close to the location to get out. You want to jump over here, and then jump here. And now we're outside the map, just as it saved, like I just made it. But now whenever I load it up, I'll be outside the map, so basically I'm free to explore as much as I want. There's an invisible wall, as you can see, because of the way this one's done. So you can actually go up to this road here safely. You can go past the wall, and if you go outside the map, you can actually find the helicopters, as you can see right here. But sadly, we cannot get in these helicopters because their location is based on distance. As you can see, they're hovering in the sky like so. And if we move in too close, it changes the scenery and removes them. We are in this location here, I might say, before I do this, just so if you want to see it, you can, but that removes them. So this is the close to the end of the map when you have to do the plane. So before you activate those guys and talk to those guys, you can go out of the map very easily here. The whole time throughout the game, with the other points of the game, you can actually return to that outer map I showed you to get out. It works pretty much the entire game except for that point that I'm showing now. This is when you pick up the helicopter. Oh, not the helicopter, but you're gonna shoot down the helicopter. As you can see, the two guys here are already dead. We're supposed to just aim our gun but I don't like to do what they want. I like to do what I want. We have to time it so that every time the helicopter comes down upon us, we are in the cover spots that the game has designed. I don't think you need to go as far as I go, but I like to get off the bridge before I do this next part. This does disable you from firing, but you can still throw grenades. I actually risk it, and I keep running for the poles right here. And I thankfully make it. And now we can shoot down the helicopter. And now we're free to explore outside the map. it's pretty easy. We can use the same spot we want, and the right side you can pretty much just walk. Well, now it's on my left, but the side behind me you can pretty much just walk out. There's nothing stopping you. Only certain points have timers still, but you can just ignore those areas really if you want. As you can see, we can't actually fire our gun once we've destroyed that, but we can throw grenades, so you can destroy the fence with your grenades. And there's still the infinite reload ammo boxes, so you can get grenades. So this is the tower that gets destroyed. I wanted to show it off because I did get to it, and it's from that location there. The whole entire thing is hollow, but I still thought it was kind of cool that we could get up to it and check it out. It's very detailed destruction that you wouldn't normally see. Now we can do something funny with the cutscene. I always love doing this to cutscenes. If we return to the cutscene, as you can see, the bodies aren't there. I'm not going to show the whole cutscene, but just some of it. But look, we're supposed to be upset about the bodies being there, but they're not there, so it just looks like we're staring into the ground, and even our soldiers are upset about it. This is Kaffarov. Probably pronouncing that wrong. I did originally in my guide butcher it as well. But you can do this glitch earlier, but I really prefer not to, but just because of the hilarity of what you can do with this glitch. So you want to collect your guns. I set them off because I don't care. I wanted them to scatter, and then you can run back. This glitch, even though I found it and everything myself, again, it's well known, so it's not mine or anything. But I still wanted to showcase the little bit of extras I found with it that are things that I found. One of them is really cool, and hence why I do it during the collection of the gun. So right here you can jump over this, and then you can head this way. You still have to be careful of the zone, but once you're out enough, I'm gonna fast forward it just so you don't get lost. We have to walk around, again avoiding any zones. And if you go to the right of the road, there's some vehicles. Nothing really fun to do with them though. So we can continue on. To the right is just there, you'll see the vehicle. We want to go to the left though, which is this way. It's a long walk, hence the fast forwarding. But it's rewarding. Once we get around the corner, because we collected the guns, and this is what I found. I haven't seen anyone else find this. They've loaded in all the enemies for the cutscene. None of the vehicles, none of the objects, just the enemies. And they won't attack you. But this guy in particular, he's my favorite. He's a T-poser. I love the T-posers. And he's hollow because we can't kill him because he's waiting for the cutscene to activate. But these guys, we can interact with it all we want. They become hollow and collapse once we stab them. Like so. You can pick up their weapons as well, so you can literally have a choice of what kind of gun you want. I didn't try firing on them, but they probably wouldn't respond to that either. Just die. I like his shotgun. And the last guy we'll watch turn into a quant heap. So, something so funny about seeing that. So from here we want to run. Again, I've fast forwarded it. Once we get to this spot here, we can run down.
Hey, fuck you!
Now, something you can do while you're down here is you can actually get into this water here and you can swim around any way you want. Now, if you want to stop swimming, you have to find an area of ground like so. Slightly raised and climb up it like so. That'll stop it. The other thing that we have that's in this area is just over this hill here. There's a car. This is pretty well known. When I did find it myself, I was quite excited and then disappointed when I found out other people knew about it already. But this is the car and you can drive it around. Kinda cool. Nice little beach drive. I went to the boat. You probably saw that in the distance. This is underneath the boat. I wanted to save you some trouble. It's completely see-through underneath, which is kind of cool. The water is also not there because it disappears. And then I used the swimming glitch, and this took me a long time that I found. And I wanted to swim over to the boat for you so you can see above, not just below. The swimming glitch has a potential for a few other things, but I didn't want to spend too much time. So if you find some useful things with it, or any of the glitches that I've found today, you find anything cool, let me know. I'd be happy to hear about them. I'll explain why I'm being shut out later. That's a different glitch that I was messing around with at the time as well. But as you can see, the helipads. So I walked all the way back to the start of the game. This was after killing those guys that I showed you. And you can run back inside the map.
Fuck you, motherfuckers!
It's another one of those rare return kind of glitches. I would not recommend driving the car back though, because if you drive the car back, it disappears. I did have footage of that, but unfortunately I don't know what happened to it, so I didn't want to bother re-recording it because I kept getting the car stuck every time I tried. It was actually difficult the first time to get it back to the cutscene area, but yeah. So we can get in the vehicle. And when we get close to the cutscene, I'm going to play the proper cutscene in the right hand corner while playing this cutscene in the main screen. So that way you can see the non-existent bad guys that should be there. And why it's quite fun. I love messing with cutscenes like that.
Знаешь, а если сразу поедем на виллу? Окна затемнены. Они подумают, что мы патруль, сразу пропустят нас через ворота.
Не рассчитывай на это. Смотри,
Those are the cars that we interacted with earlier.
мы прошли за ними внутрь.
I put bullets in them, but the bullets vanished, so that was quite interesting.
Надо быть тщательным на нашей стороне.
До этого никогда не было.
The Americans are coming. They're near Gilad Valley. Get everyone back here now. We're leaving. Sir, the airspace is problematic. I'm aware of the situation. Just do what I say.
Отлично. Он совершенно не догадывается, насколько мы близко.
Все равно это будет впритик.
Нам нужно быть готовым ко всему. Кирилл будет первым. Я пойду вторым. Дима, подстрахуй нас где нужно. Будь готов к изменению. Помни.
As you can see, no one on the left, but on the right there, there's tons of people, and we've got none.
Стой так на расстоянии.
And there's Mr. T-Poser himself.
Давай, будем делать.
Готовься.
So when we hit the button to open this gate, I did show this in my guide because it's a useful glitch just for that reason. But we can kill him with dummy stuff from one of those guys we killed earlier. And we can come around here. And we can jump over here. Thus we're now out of the map. None of these cars unfortunately you can get in. But we can go around, which again I fast forwarded just because, you know, I don't want to spend 20 minutes of just me running around a map. But I still want to direct you where to go, so I figure this is the best way to do it. Once we get up to the right spot, we can drop down. As you can see, we're at this wall again. And we can activate this. Now we just wait for these guys to open the door.
Делай на другой стороне.
Yeah, from this spot we can't get out of the map again. And climb up here. Disable it here. And look this way, and then we can run up the hill. And we will just make it. Now I just want to follow it around. And we can fall down here. You actually do want to do this glitch for the next one because it's the only way you're able to really set it up. If you have that mission marker active, you'll get away with this next glitch, whereas if you do it much later, you risk dying. But once we get to this location here, we want to jump once we kill these guys. We want to jump on this railing here, and then run and jump across and over this barrier here. And we want to follow this part here. As you can see, we can see inside the map and everything. We want to get down here to this part here, which lets us go under the map. And we want to go over to that black staircase and jump at the staircase. This will deload the map because it activates the next area for us. And from there we want to climb back up, go around. As you can see, everything has been deloaded. So to get upstairs, since there are no stairs, we have to get onto this rock here, then climb onto this rock and climb up here. But before we go to where I just want to show you outside. I just want to show you all the deloaded area because it's kind of cool. Doors have been deloaded and everything. For some reason that piece of glass there remains. Not sure why. These two just sit at the entrance because they don't know where to go because everything's been deloaded. And the area that we avoided, as you can see, has been deloaded. Very important. I'll even go so far as to come outside to show you. See? Completely deloaded. So now we can go back inside. Again, I'm going to explore just a little bit to show you. Some stairs here stayed. And if you remember this area to your left, and then we fall down here where there's usually stairs. But what we need to do for this next part of the glitch is this is a 3-part setup glitch. We want to go into this room here, and this will make the helicopter appear. As you can see right there. So now we need to fall down, and we can just walk out here, so it's easy to fall down. And then go around. As you can see, it's loaded up the section that you would run through normally if you were in the underground bit. I'm gonna show you something you don't want to do. Unfortunately, you can't fly this helicopter, because if you do, it'll lock you pretty much. So I actually did repeat this glitch twice per recording just to show you once what not to do and once what you can do. But the reward at the end is what I really enjoy. It's basically like having a hidden cutscene in the game. So here's the helicopter. And I wanted to get as close as possible without activating it just yet, so don't mind me crouching so that I can show you. See, no beep prompt comes up, even though it's empty. And if you get too close, this is what happens. And you basically just get locked here. So repeating the glitch, you want to actually head to the left here, into this room. We can back into the room, and once we hear the propellers, we can run. Jump up to Kaffarov. And we can push B. And if you did everything correctly, the scene should play out exactly like it would. Except for this part. But thanks to it thinking the objective is still there, we don't get in trouble for being out of the map like this. The scene plays through and it saves, and when it saves, it will go to a black screen. We actually do have to quit the game and then reload the save for this next part, but this is why I like to think of it as a hidden cutscene, or a hidden scene in a game, because of what happens.
Oh, sure, that's me. Listen, this key goes to a safe deposit box in Geneva. Take it. Take everything in it. I don't have them! Do you understand? It's not me you want. It's not... It's Solomon! Listen, I have information about Solomon. I know what he's planning. I know where the suitcases are going. Let's make a deal. My freedom for information. You let me go, I tell you everything. I tell you where Solomon is going. I know what he's doing and where...
So it's saved, I've got the black screen, and it won't load. So you have to quit the game, and then reload the save, which is what I'm about to do. And upon loading in, you need to run to the left. So you might need to load your save a couple of times, and then you'll load in the pool. And now, for our extra cutscene. We get to have a fight with Kaffarov. He's got a pistol, look at his bloody eye. He's invincible, we're invincible. Duel to the invincibility of death. I actually activated this even earlier, at one point, where these guys break in the window. And I wanted to include that, because it was kind of cool to be invincible while the objectives were happening. I wasn't able to replicate this one, so I was just showing you. He follows you throughout the mission too, and you can't get past the part where you're supposed to capture him because you've already done that objective. So you can only have fun doing this with it, but it's still kind of cool. Because you can take out these guys. As you can see, I am not taking any damage. I'll even walk up close to show you. Receiving no damage. It's kind of cool to be invincible.
They're inside the perimeter! Fall back! Defend the seafood!
I can jump down here and let these guys shoot me. So when you load up as this guy, this is after you do the Kaffarov the way you're meant to. You can get out of the map as him. There's not much that I could find, but I'll show you one thing I did find I thought was kind of cool. It's the same as the original way. You just gotta run up this way. You have a little bit less time to do it, but once you've done it, you can head to the location that I'm heading to if you want. It's a little bit finicky to climb up afterwards. But as you can see, there's some cars there. They're the ones that load. They're the ones that would originally be there if we were doing the cutscene after we got into the opened the garage door and went through. That's where they should be. But when you load up as this guy, for some reason they load up the cars as well, which I thought was interesting. I was hoping one of them might be drivable, but sadly none of them were. I'll say that right now, so that way you don't get your hopes up. It's a little bit finicky to climb up here. I ended up giving up trying to do it this way. Just was not playing ball. Go to the right here, there's an easier spot. Still a little finicky though. But there we go. And as you can see, none of them drivable, sadly. So I wanted to see what would happen during the cutscene if we had no ammo, because if you remember we have to kill someone. So I figured what would happen if we had no ammo? How would the game respond?
Do not do anything stupid.
This piece of shit right there stole 3 nuclear devices from Russia and sold it to a man called Solomon. Solomon's using the PLR. He has at least 2 targets, New York and Paris. He's using public transit to move the weapons. He's going to detonate the New York device at Times Square very soon. This cannot happen. We're gonna avert war between our nations. Just 2 of us. No politicians. No money changing hands. Just 2 soldiers speaking the truth. Help me. Help me to do this. That's it. I have to leave now. You don't shoot him. Millions will die.
What a faker. There is no ammo in my gun. This So now we're up to the Great Destroyer. And before I show you the glitch, I still want to show you. Before I show you how to do the glitch, I want to show you the glitch. What's cooler than being in an interview with these guys? Being in an interview with a gun. There's not much you can do with it, to be honest. It's just kind of cool to be able to actually do. And destroy shit. In the cameras. Shoot a soldier. Shoot the gas tank. When these guys come through, you can shoot this guy. You can shoot these two. Fire while you're falling down.
Oh, fuck! Come on! The train's coming!
People here are hollow, but I wanted to show off this. For some reason there's a guy with a gun standing there. This guy is also halfway through a bin. I'll show that one how I did it, and it's not guaranteed. After I show you 2 out of map glitches that I found. The one is here. You jump on the stairs. It's a little bit finicky to try and get onto the stairs. But from there you can jump onto this. And then from there you can fall down. See our guys up there? And we can go down this way. If you head straight, you'll fall through the map. So you want to turn left. There's not a lot of area to explore before falling off the map. See, the edge is right here, and if you go too far forward, you'll fall off the map like so. And then you can view the map, which is kind of cool. And then the other one is just after you jump out of the bin, you head to this bin here. Jump on the fence again. This isn't solid, only the cement is. So the cars are solid, you can jump on the cars, but you can't jump on the, or stand on the ground. I did try and make running jumps to the other cement, but I always fell through. As you can see. So this is how we perform the glitch for getting the gun. Now, I can't guarantee this will happen every time because it didn't happen every time. I got it, I'd like to say 1 out of every 5th attempt, give or take. I'm showing it from the start so that way in case there might be details that you need that I don't give, you see everything. I also want to show off this, the terrible handcuff. If you crawl and look down. Terrible design.
Oh, fuck! Come on!
So the first thing I would do, and you could just restart it if you wanted this to happen, but I always like to explore the map because why not? But the first thing you have to do is basically fail.
Get on the fucking train, Black! You got one shot, go!
So I'd, for example, take a look at this guy. Different shirt color to the previous one. Go through our hollow friend and just wait till I fail. Like I said, you could restart if you wanted, but I often chose just to fail because it seemed to help. And if you'll notice on the right hand side, we suddenly have an ammo count when we load up. Again, I've kept this all with the cuts without speeding up anything, so you know there's no trickery or anything, because this one glitch in particular I didn't have a high success rate of performing, so I just wanted to include everything so that way maybe I missed something and someone else might be able to perform it every time or something.
You got one shot, go!
But so then what I'd do for the second thing is I'd go up to the train spot where the A prompt shows up and then walk away. From here I would restart the mission after it loads in, of course.
So you admit to shooting your...
I'd always pause it for that save. Get this button prompt wrong, get this one right. I never hit A, I always hit B. These button prompts. And then when you load up, if you're successful and everything works, you'll load up with the gun. So during the train part, we can grab the gun here, and if you remember during Semper Fidelis, I showed the Y trick, changing the gun. This one has a different one. If you hit RT after, well, hold in RT after this section, you can fire on him, killing him before you even kick him out. And on top of the weird sound effects, look at this. Knifey returns. And this time he's not the friendly knife. He's the enemy knife. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.